We're on right now with Damon Whiteside, the president of the Academy of Country Music, the ACMs. Damon, how are you?
I'm doing great, Bobby. How are you?
Hey, real good. Excited to talk to you because, the awards are coming up. However, before I talk about what's happening in a week or so, right? It's a week. Yeah, it's about a week, huh?
It's 1 week from today, but who's counting?
Right. Okay, so before then, this ACM award show was supposedly going off, 7 months ago, 8 months ago? And it, because of COVID, never happened.
Right. It was going to be April 5th, and then it was canceled, and we ended up moving it here to Nashville.
And there was a lot that happened in between that, right? You had to think, first of all, are we going to cancel it? Can't have it in in Vegas. Do we have it in Nashville, late April? Was there a lot of that before it was finally shut down?
Oh, yeah. It was definitely months of researching and having conversations. And honestly, it was very difficult to find a venue to house it because so many tours had been and shows had been canceled and moved to the summer. At that time, we all kind of thought this COVID thing was going to be temporary and everything would be back to normal in the summer. So it was really hard to find venues, and we literally scoured the country. But we ultimately wanted to be in Nashville just because it's the home of country music, but also we wanted to make it safe for our artists so that they can just be at home and drive down and not have to travel. And, so many in our industry have been hit really hard by this and out of work. And so we didn't want to require the industry to have to travel. So we just basically decided to put it in their backyard.
It's happening Wednesday, September 16th, and it's hosted by Keith Urban. My question about Keith is, did you know Keith wouldn't be nominated for Entertainer of the Year when he was picked to host and be like that guy?
No, we did not know at that time when we discussed with him about him hosting, but he's our reigning Entertainer of the Year right now, and he actually jokes that he's the longest running reigning entertainer since our show's been moved back to September. So it's great to have him in the show.
You're doing it from 3 different spots. All are super important, not just to me personally, because I've played all of them, but just to country music and the history of country music. So talk about those 3 spots where the show will be broadcast from.
Oh my gosh, it's like a dream come true to have this show happening in the 3 most famous country music venues in the world. But yes, it'll be live from the Grand Ole Opry and the Bluebird Cafe. And we're going to have moments also from the Ryman Auditorium. So it's really absolutely, just going to be magical and such a homage to country music and just, all the legends that have been before us.
The Bluebird's interesting because, again, having performed there myself, it's so small. People are right on top of you when you do play because it's so small, but it's definitely a songwriter's room. And what you guys have done is you've put people in that situation to kind of play to that scenario, right? Isn't Miranda doing something with the songwriters who wrote Bluebird?
She is, yeah. Miranda's performing with Natalie Hemby and Luke Dick, who wrote Bluebird with her. So that's going to be a really cool setup. And I think we haven't seen her perform that song yet with the songwriters. So that's going to be kind of a neat way to present that.
Do you know who's won the awards already?
I do not know who's won. A lot of people have asked me that, but no, they are still under lock and key with Deloitte. Who's our accounting firm that holds all that securely, and they will be on site live on site at the Opry House and handing envelopes to the presenters that night to see who's going to win. So yeah, it's still a big mystery.
Explain to me how that works, Damon, because you pay a firm to do what? Count votes from people and then keep it secret?
Yes, it's just to ensure the integrity of the awards. So they manage our voting process, and they are the ones that hold all of that information, and they analyze it to make sure that there's not been any kind of discrepancies in any of the voting or anything like that. They flag it immediately if anything looks off in any way. But yeah, it just ensures that everything is accurate and that we really maintain the integrity of the awards, and they do not share it with us until they literally on that stage that night, they've got the envelopes and they hand them physically from the Deloitte person to the presenter that walks out and reads it.
it feels like, you know, the ACMs they're happening so quick, and it's the first big award show since pandemic. And I hear your email just blowing up. Is your life now, right now, like, hey, let me get on that show. Let me get a music performance slot on that show. I mean, is it just all the time right now for you?
It is, although, you know, I'll say at this point, we're done with the booking at this point, but the last, 2 months has definitely been that way. We've had a ton of interest, which has been great in being involved with the show, but I have to say it's going to be this year in, talking with our executive producer, Rack Clark, who works tirelessly on this show. We figured out that we've got like 25 artists in the show performing, and it's going to be like 40 hits in the show. It's probably going to be more songs and artists than we've ever had in an ACM show. So it's pretty incredible being that, in the midst of COVID, we're able to be in these 3 incredible venues and have more music than we've ever had. But that's what we were really going for, was just to have a night that truly is celebrating music and bringing some comfort to the fans and just giving everybody just a really good time and a great way to reflect on all these great artists that are going to win these big awards.
If I can toot your horn for a second, you guys have suggested that these artists play hits. You mentioned that. Because sometimes on award shows, an artist wants to play their thing that's about to come or has just started, and we, the viewer watching, go, I don't even know this song. However, as I look at the list here of songs that these artists are playing, Gabby Barrett's playing I Hope, Carrie Underwood's doing a classic country melody, you have Miranda Lambert doing Bluebird, Morgan Wallen's doing Whiskey Glasses. So as a thank you from me to you and how you're putting on the show, because I feel like I speak for a lot of the viewers, thank you for having these artists do songs that we know.
Mm-hmm. That was a big, important part of it. Yeah, as we wanted to bring some familiarity, and we really want to bring, some of the fans really just, they want to sing along. And so we felt that was really important. And so there are a lot of songs that, the fans are certainly going to know every word by heart. We even have a huge opening at the beginning of the show where all of our entertainers of the year, the nominees for Entertainer of the Year, are all going to perform one of their first ever #1 hits. So you're going to hear classic hits from the entertainer nominees that they haven't performed on stage, in years and years. So it's going to be pretty neat to see all of that. But there's also going to be, a few songs that, maybe people are a little less familiar with, but we're excited about that because we really want to hit the right tone. And, there's just some really beautiful songs, such as Trisha Yearwood is going to be doing an In Memoriam, which is unlike anything we've ever done before. And she's doing a beautiful song called I'll Carry You Home. Mickey Guyton, of course, is going to do What Are You Going to Tell Her, which is an incredibly powerful song. So I'm excited just, for people to hear some music that they also haven't memorized yet.
A couple of those other ones that are newer that I'm looking forward to are Luke Combs doing Better Together from the Bluebird, which I think is going to be freaking great. And then Maren Morris doing To Hell and Back, which she's played on my show pretty recently, and it's just such a good song. So it's like there's a distinction you have to make between wanting to hear a hit or if it's just so compelling new, and I think you guys have really nailed that.
It's a good mix, and and it's interesting. Like Thomas Rhett is performing with John Party. They're doing Beer Can't Fix, which they were originally going to do that back in April, and we were really glad that they're still going to do that because it's a lot of, going to be a lot of fun. And Old Dominion too. I think one fun thing for this year is that they're going to do a medley of their #1 hits. And so that's great too, because I think fans are going to hear that and just go, wow, I love all of these songs. And so it's just going to be wall-to-wall music and just a lot of great artists.
All right, Damon. Well, I feel like just in this call, you have 73 emails to return, just this that I heard, and probably 100 texts. So I'll let you go. But let me remind everybody, Wednesday, September 16th at 7 Central, wherever you are, but 7 Central, Keith Urban's hosting. It's the ACM Awards. I personally cannot wait because I've been craving a good old live country music awards show. Been wanting this one since April, and I'm super pumped it's in Nashville, Damon. So good luck and thank you.
And we're going to be?
I will be there. I'll be presenting. I would rather toot your horn than mine during this segment, but I will be presenting. And it's there's no red carpet. It's all COVID. So it's like you go in, you do your deal, you don't touch anybody else, right? And then you're done.
Absolutely, yeah. It is all touchless, and artists just off their butts, walk in, they do their thing, and they walk out, and They never near anybody else except for, maybe their own personal manager. That's it.
I love a touchless ceremony. All right, Damon.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you, my friend. Good luck.
All right. Take care, sir. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That is Damon Whiteside, president of the ACMs. Here's the thing. For me, well, I'm not taking a date. I would have taken Caitlin. I was taking her back when the original one was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have taken Caitlin, but I still have to buy or find nice clothes. Mostly I have to buy them because I'm not famous, so no one wants to give me clothes to wear because then it makes the clothes look cool. So I have to buy it. I'm super pumped that I get to do this, but the one mini drawback is I have to go buy new clothes for the award show.
You haven't had to do that in a while.
I haven't. That's a good thing now. All right. Thanks to Damon Whiteside, and you guys be sure to check out the ACMs. Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the Bobby Cash channel.